Hi, it's Nikki Dore, Damon Mediation. Last week, someone was talking, asking me a question on Twitter, Damon_mediator, if you want to contact them, about how do you know when it's your guides just saying hello, just letting you know they're there, versus the message. How do you distinguish? And I had to say, actually, it's both. So, for a good example, in mediumship, the message that you get should always be tied to the person who comes through. So if you're getting a message about tidy up your finances, and you'll have somebody who comes through who is either really good with their finances or probably really bad. It's something that they're known for, and that will be part of both the evidence and the information that you need to know. So it's the same in other forms of, any other energy work or kind of divination. It's kind of always, it's always a dual meaning, and it's often more than just a dual meaning. So you might get given a symbol. So I was doing a exercise where I gave away some free readings, and I said people pick a charm, and they picked something. They picked like an owl or butterfly, whatever they were drawn to, and they picked it, and to see whether that was the winning charm. Now, after that, I tended to go through and I kind of told them a little bit about why they picked it, why it was important to them, and because I always think there's more meaning that you can get out of it, and it's not just that one kind of like one moment. You're drawn to something for a reason, and so when you're looking at the symbol is important, but also there's a different message there. So you're connecting to your guides, but you're also getting a message, and it will always be the same. It could be a message about what you need to know. It could be a further message about them. It can be both. And the one thing that you need to understand is there's never, it's never just that one simple thing. It's got so many layers, and it's so rich, and that's why I really love working with symbols and working with my guides and working with energy and beings and all sorts, because there's so many ways that you can look at something. It's quite interesting, even looking at a card, because I've got my deck here. You see this, you can see her, the Queen of Cups. Now, there's so many ways to look at this card. You can look at, obviously we know what the Queen of Cups is like. We can look at her elementally. Oh, can't get words in the morning. So she is water of water. We can look at what does a cup symbolize. We can also look at her clothing here with the shells and things like that. So it's quite rich. Here you will also see, you can't see very clearly, but that is also looks like, that's a piece of jewellery, but it looks like the moon. So you can read into it so many different ways, rather than kind of, and they've got the water at the back. There's so much rich symbolism in each card that you have, that it's not just the one thing. We're not just talking about a woman here. And also with non-binary, it doesn't actually necessarily have to be a woman, doesn't necessarily have to be a person either. It's so many things. It's very rich, and it's just remembering that that's really what symbology is about. So here again, it's just really rich, and that's why I think a lot of people love tarot. You've got this person walking in the dark. We assume it's dark here. We've got the light here. There's so many different things that you can read into, and the same with symbols. Symbols can mean different things to different people. Snake one is a very obvious one. So some people hate snakes. A lot of reason why we hate snakes tends to come from the idea of snakes being temptation. If you look at Lenormand, snake is actually bad. It's a negative card, and it just stands for betrayals or the other woman and temptation, because it's linking to the biblical idea of the snake. But you also have the other side of the snake, is that it's seen as both masculine and feminine. It does talk about change in a particular way, shedding of its skin. it's kind of all these different things that you can think of it. So if really when you're looking at messages coming through in that way, what else do they mean? And do take that time, because if a message is repeating coming through to you, it means you haven't got all of that message out. So take a time to look deeper into what that message is, rather than just going, okay, well, it's just this. Where is it? What is the context that you're seeing in it? Also look at what is that symbol. Dive into that symbol. So many different resources out there. I have a few books on it. I do like What's Your Sign by Venica. I can't think of her surname, but she's actually amazing. So if you go on, I think it's actually just whatsyoursign.com, and she's amazing. Goes in very deeply into symbolism. So get used to looking up and looking beyond that one thing, or that one kind of message that you think it is, because there's so many ways to deep dive into it. So it's a very short message on this, still in the full moon cycle. I am doing a Q&A on contacting your spirit guides tonight at 7 o'clock. If you're interested, I will put the details into the I will be having the details mainly on Twitter, so come join me on there, and I'll put my Twitter details into the detailed description for this. If you have any questions or you want to have any Q&As answered in these morning videos, then just drop me a line. You can drop me a line at Nikki@Damien Mediation. You can drop me a line on Twitter, which is where I'm most active, and I'm quite happy to explore that question in one of these morning videos. Have a great day.